Hey everybody, it's Cbullet here, and before we get started, I'd just like to remind you all that we have a Discord with all sorts of helpful skinning tools and information. I'd also like to mention that if you'd like to apply to join our video creation team, we have a form to do so. The links for both can be found on screen or in the description. Anyway, today we're going to be reviewing Cyber Ene by Rockroller, themed around a character from the Kagero project anime. I do want to mention that this skin does have extras, which can be found in the skin's main folder in their own subfolders. However, I'll only be reviewing the skin as it comes from the download link. Let's get started. Starting with the song selection screen, the first thing I notice is how clean and uniform everything is. All of the elements manage to feel like they belong there, even the render of Ene that's used to cover the Osu cookie. Speaking of the Osu cookie, I notice a lot of skins that attempt to skin over it tend to do so in a rather jarring and obvious way, but Rockroller does a very good job of keeping it subtle and clean in this skin. Points for that. The back button is a nice animated version of the design seen on many of the elements in this skin, and while you think it would become repetitive, I don't find that to be true. The modes menu features recolored game mode icons and another render of Ene. I feel as though a lighter blue for the mode icons or a more opaque background for the modes menu would help with visibility here, as this shade of blue feels very uncomfortable to look at on many backgrounds. The mode small icons are separated from the song selection buttons in their own little area with the song information. This looks really clean and works great with every game mode. The sorting buttons above the song selection wheel are also skinned, but they too use that same uncomfortable shade of blue as the large mode icons. If this instead used the shade of blue seen on the small mode icons, I think this would be a lot more pleasing to the eyes. The mods for this skin are very simple, opting to use the slanted window format. None of the pictures really describe the mods at all, but they do stick to the theme and the abbreviations are more than readable enough to make up for it. Any secondary mod icon uses a nice pink on the abbreviation instead of the dark blue. A nice touch. The ranking screen is, in all honesty, quite disappointing. To me, the reason that simplicity in the song selection screen works is because it has a lot of information about the map carrying the design. Most of the empty space is balanced out with the leaderboards, song select wheel, or song information. On the ranking screen, you obviously don't get a lot of this stuff, only simplified song information at the top. Ranking panels really aren't easy to make, but this feels like it was just rushed or given up on, possibly due to lack of ideas or frustration, or maybe just no idea on how to make it better. The ranking letters carry this hard, and are the only reason this section has avoided scoring a 2 or lower. That being said, the ranking letters are very well made, and again feature the design seen throughout the song selection. I would have liked to see the gap between song information and ranking panel be filled with the ranking title element, but it's not a big deal. The font used for the numbers on this ranking panel feels a bit tacky, but it's nothing to complain about seriously. I would have liked to see the text indicating score, accuracy, and combo, as there are very weird dead zones where they would otherwise be. The gameplay for this skin, while technically simplistic, is somewhat difficult to read, for me at least. The combination of follow lines and a long cursor trail, even with the different colors, throws my reading off a lot when playing this skin. I've had poor experiences with that same problem while making my own first skin, though this could just be a personal thing as I'm sure many players enjoy this configuration. The cursor, follow lines, reverse arrow, and slider ball are all the same pink that's seen on the secondary mod abbreviations. This helps with keeping track of where you are and what elements are important, but due to the aforementioned long cursor trail, that effect is voided for me personally. The skip button is low-key kinda cute, but don't tell anyone I said that though. The reverse arrow uses the nice, clean bumper format. Some players like this, others don't. I'm the former. The key input uses the same design seen throughout the skin, but still manages to look good and not feel overused. This skin uses the meta of pushing the accuracy counter to the center of the screen, but does so assuming everybody uses the pi version of a map timer. Because of this, players like me who opt to use the bar timer instead notice an off-center accuracy counter. This is really not a big deal whatsoever, as you can't really cater to both without separate elements, which in itself would just be very tedious and not worth the time. Something I'd like to point out are the combo numbers. If you look at them, you'll notice that they don't have the large burst animation that cannot be removed normally. This skin circumvents this using a black box behind the combo numbers. This does however cause issues for players who don't use 100% dim, but it can be easily fixed by using the extras available in the skin folder. The spinner for this skin is really nice. It sticks to the theme and provides ample feedback. The pause and fail screens both use the circle design used throughout this skin, as well as featuring renders of characters from the show the skin is themed around. For the song selection, this skin has earned a 4.5 out of 5. Outside of its very minor issues, this song selection screen was really well made overall and was pleasant to use and look at. For the ranking screen, a 3 out of 5. The ranking panel really dragged this score down. If it lived up to the quality of the ranking letters, I could easily see this scoring a 4.5 or higher. For the gameplay, a 4 out of 5. Nothing extraordinary about the gameplay, but nothing bad. It looks good and plays decently. Overall, the skin has earned a 4 out of 5. For visuals, I'll give this skin a 4. For playability, a 3. What do you think of this skin? What do you think of my review? Let us know using the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video, let us know by leaving a like. If you want to see more of our content, be sure to subscribe. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another review.